best fighters in its ranks would face each other in full contact, with one winner emerging as the superior warrior, the champion.
Bloodsport. Brazil, the Great White Dragon, Portugal. Destructive Force is a 1988 American martial arts film. Directed by Neltonod and starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Rochelle Donald, Gibalea Aries. The film is part fiction and leaves based on allegations made by the artist Marshall Frank Dux. It sold well at the box office, raising $11,806,019 internally, with a budget of $1,500,000. Bloodsport. It was one of the first films starring Van Damme. Showed off his athletic skills. He performs countless physical feats, such as helicopter style, jump with kick, spinners, and one full split. Synopsis. It was in this Neo-Tano movie that the Belgian actor Jean-Claude Van Damme, at 28 years old, took the first steps of his career, filmed in the United States, precisely in a story based on events. Truthful. Van Damme is Frank Dux, one young man trained in ninjutsu who learned the rudiments of martial arts through of your master's teachings, Senzo Tanaka. And it will be precisely in a tribute that Frank accepts to participate in the famous, deadly, and clandestine comic tournament in Hong Kong, becoming like this, the first Westerner to win that competition. Development. The real Frank Dux worked as fight coordinator on the film. Between 1975 and 1980, he participated in 329 fights without being defeated. When Jean-Claude Van Damme was hired, Frank Dux said that he wasn't in the right shape for the role. This way put him on a 3-month training program, rated by actor as the hardest training of your life. Frank Dux said he wasn't a big fan of Van Damme's abilities. He is an okay fighter and a great exhibitionist. He wanted a role in the film and was eager. He almost dislocated his shoulder trying to do something I didn't know. I trained 3 times a week and taught him how to fight. In the movies, we learn it together to make it look good on screen. Curiosities. One Frank Dux narrates one behind-the-scenes scene where he had a real fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme. We were both crazy. I told him to meet me at the top of the Victoria Hotel, that I would show who was the champion. I told us to fight on a platform, which was no more than 40 centimeters wide, 60 stories high. I did a spin kick and faced him. Frank, you are crazy, he said. After that, we went to dinner, and he never raised his voice at me again, even after filming ended. Bloodsport was in danger of never being released. It was Jean-Claude Van Damme himself who helped with the without editing, being credited for the function. 3 Frank Dux admitted that did not meet his master when breaking into his house. How does the film tell? This was a screenwriter taking freedom in the story. I almost went to court because of this. It was disrespectful. For the scene where Van Damme is blinded during the fight would have happened. True, according to Dux, when you're in a desperate situation like this, you need to find your nirvana to enter. Fight again. -1 in the fight against Lungworm, when Van Damme hits him in the genital area. Dux explains that the punch was actually in the bladder. It looked like this because of the angle. 6. The fighter. Book says that part of his success as a fighter came function of a physical problem. when I was little, would have been born with club feet and using braces to correct it. It got me used to the pain. 7. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Donald Jiba appears playing Karatechin, Arc. 8. Most Cake and Wave Lines. Identical images of Bruce Lee in Operation Dragon 1973, where one also appears. Odima, the Touch of Death. It's a legendary move in folklore of Chinese martial arts. Was used fictitiously by Jean-Claude Van Damme in the film. Dimak is a pressure attack, where the attacker quickly hits several times various parts of the victim's body. Your application would result in spasms and muscle paralysis, several broken bones, and could lead to death. The character Jade Fox, performed by Shin Pepi, in The Tiger and the Dragon, to apply this blow. Soundtrack and review. Soundtrack. The Bloodsport soundtrack was composed by Pozzo, who also composed another film by Jean-Claude Van Damme. The soundtrack contains the songs Fight, Ta Surf, and Amayan, both performed by Stan Butch. Bush songs are replaced on the soundtrack, with alternative versions sung by Paul Delfo, who was nominated for a Guild for this work. The film plays songs from All the Night by Michael Bickup during a scene where Dukes faces hell. Mary Ravines. The song was not released until the mid-2000s as a single containing an instrumental vocal version. On June 26, 2007, Perseverance and Records released one limited edition of the CD soundtrack, including for the first time the original versions of the film's Stan Bus songs. Launch. Bloodsport was released in the DVD region by Warner Home Video on October 1st, 2002, and was later released on Blu-ray. Like one double session with Time Cop, the film proved to be quite profitable, attracting $11.7 million for the States at the box office. Critical reception. Bloodsport has a mixed reception from specialized critics. It has a 33 inches tomatometer based on 18 reviews. No Rotom Tomitis. The average was for points. 3 out of 10. Has 76% approval from the audience. Used to calculate audience reception based on votes from website users. Leonardo Clade from the Los Angeles Times wrote, "Hack through the cliché jungle and bad performance reservoir in Bloodsport. Some very exciting matches." Van Damme was nominated for a Golden Raspberry for Worst New Star. Legacy. Sequences. Bloody Sport was followed by 3 sequels. Bloody Sport 2, The Next Comic 1996. Bloody Sport 3, 1997 E. Bloody Sport 4. Didacamite 1999. They were released directly on video, and Jean-Claude Van Damme does not act in any of the sequels. The Great White Dragon was a landmark on Brazilian TV, a classic from the 80s and 90s. It's very nostalgic, one of the best fighting films, and one of the best, of course. Jean-Claude Van Damme. The channel rating will be 8. Well, that's it, guys. I'm going for it.